This tutorial is about using sketch planes. The basis of a 3D object is several or more 2D objects all assembled to make a 3D image. So a sketch plane is each one of those 2D images that make up a whole image. I'm going to demonstrate the use of sketch planes in making a tetrahedron, which is a four-sided triangular prism. So if we start by in plan view, tetrahedron is made up of equilateral triangles, each side being 30 millimeters. So if we start down here, we'll snap to angle, we'll snap to grid, we'll also start with a line and define it from the center. So 30 millimeters, so we go out space bar 30. We now turn define from center off. We rise 60 degrees, space bar 30. If we click on this point again here, go down to here, we should have a perfect equilateral triangle with 30 millimeter sides. To make our sketching a little bit easier, what we're going to do now is pull that to give it some square faces on the sides to use as references. So if we pull it out, 2 millimeters should be all we need. Now if we look from the end, what we need to do is now we need to draw the top of our pyramid. So if we grab our line again and we get the symbol on our pointer for selecting the angle for our sketch plane, so this time we select the end. Now what we need to do is lean it over so that we can draw the angle, the face at the right angle. So I did quite a bit of research on the net to try and find out what this angle is. I couldn't find it, so after using DesignSpark and drawing quite a few different shapes, I managed to calculate what it is. So we've got our sketch plane square to our base, so what we need to do is position that to the right angle. So if we down here, if we select our move grid tool, we end up with the move grid indicator. So if we move that up to the top line there, because that's where we want our sketch plane to operate. Now after quite a bit of work and calculations, I managed to work out that this angle here is 19.47122 degrees. But seeing this is starting at 360 working back, if we hit our space bar and we type in minus 19.47122, there is our angle. But to actually see it, we need to increase the accuracy of our DesignSpark in the actual options. So we select units. Here the primary precision is 2, so if we make that 5, and the angular position 5 as well, we'll show trailing zeros. Okay, So now we've got our sketch plane at the same angle as the face of this side of our pyramid's concerned. We can grab our line tool again. We can turn off snap to grid. We'll leave it at the same angle because it's still 60 degrees. So if we draw a line at 60 degrees, snap, spacebar, and 30 millimeters. That's our first point. Click again down to here. We should have our equilateral triangle. Just press escape. Now we need to create a line from this corner over here. So if we select our new sketch plane, select this side here, we'll zoom in again. We need to move our grid. Our pivot point needs to be on the top line. Rotate our grid in again, spacebar, minus 19.4722 degrees. Grab our line tool again, select the corner point there and the top of our pyramid here, and as you can see we had a 60 degree line at 30 millimeters. So that's effectively our drawing done. So now if we select the mode, select our blend tool, we can now fill their sides. Control click, and we'll fill it in. Click, control click, fill it in, spin around and grab our final side. Click, control click, fill. Now we have our object, but it's only got surfaces on the top and a solid at the bottom. So if we grab our select tool, draw a marquee around it and combine. There's our object, but it has a plinth on the bottom of it. So if we select our pull tool, select the base, and we'll remove that 2 millimeters that we put on to start off with. So there is our tetrahedron, which is a pyramid, triangular pyramid with equal faces on all sides. Just another quick sketch just to show once again the use of sketch planes. Start with our plan view. This one is just a small rectangular with a 2 millimeter base, and on top it has a prism. So if we grab our rectangle tool, define it from the center, and this one is 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Enter. There we go. So we'll grab our pull tool, give it our 2 millimeter base, now if we put a sketch plane on one of the ends, we can start drawing our objects. So go up here, sketch mode, and we've got our pointer which wants to select which face. So at this stage we're going to select the end face. And we'll draw some construction lines on here to make life a little bit easier. So grab a construction line, define it from the center. It's a 6mm high, 6mm wide triangle on this end. So we draw that out. Type in 6, enter, and define from center. We'll turn that off. It's 6mm high. So we'll go up this way 90 degrees at 6mm. There's the basis of our end sketch. So if we turn our solid off, we can see our construction lines. We'll grab our line tool and we'll draw the end in. So we're using the points of this construction lines to create our shape. So that's our end piece. We could put a line across the base, but we don't really need that one. So we turn our solid back on. What we've got to do now is put a ridge from here to the other end of our block for the ridge of our prism. So to do that, back here we'll get a new sketch plane. This time we'll take it from this end here, but we need to be able to draw it from this point here down to the other side. We know this is 20mm, so if we move this sketch plane 10mm towards the center, we know that we're right on the center of our base object. So now it's just a matter of getting our line tool again. Draw a line from the top of our triangle here to the back of the base, and that will form the ridge of our triangle. Now we need to put in some, well, we don't need to, but we'll put in some lines from along the base of our pyramid as well. So new sketch plane. This time it's based on the surface, top surface. Actually, you might be able to do this one in 3D mode because it's all there. So if we grab our line tool on that surface, we go from here to the end of the construction line, which is there. Same again from that point there to the end of our construction line, which is here. We now have all the necessary surfaces and curves for our object to be completed. So if we grab our blend tool once again, go back to 3D mode, we can see that it is there now, but it isn't complete. They're just lines. Click, control click, control click, fill, click, control click, control click, fill that one. Now we have all our surfaces already done. So all we need to do now, we can draw a mark here around all those, select them all, select combine, and there we have our object. Just get rid of our curves, and there's our 3D object. I trust that helps us a little bit with understanding how we use our sketch planes to actually form the shapes of different objects. There are other ways you could have done it because of the extra tools that are included in DesignSpark. So that is just one way, but it is a way of getting more familiar with sketch planes.